This is the dinosaur world. First, we are going to explore the late Cretaceous, when one of the most famous dinosaurs lived. One of the most strongest, too, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Even though this beast was ginormous in size, it had its own weaknesses, just like any other living creature. For example, its tiny arms. Those arms couldn't do anything. They couldn't even touch. Also, the Tyrannosaurus Rex wasn't fast. It was apparently slow. But about Tyrannosaurs, the bite is all that matters. Tyrannosaurus Rex's jaw-crushing teeth could snap through anything, even a submarine. But if we go to which is now known the Gobi Desert, we will find something that you might know. Something that is sort of famous. The Velociraptor. It was one of the smartest dinosaurs in history. I know you may think it was as bigger than your dad, but it was actually half the size of a full-grown man. That's half the size of what they shown in Jurassic Park. And in the Gobi Desert at that time, heats were the same. It was the same hot. But if we go back a long time back a long before here, we will find something that is very suspicious. We are in the early Cretaceous now. We have something that is a relative to the Spinosaurus. Baryonyx, a relatively small Spinosaur compared to the Spinosaurus. The Spinosaurus had a spine. Baryonyx looked just like him, but with no spine. But there is a bigger Spinosaurid around here, but not as big as Spinosaurus. Suchomimus, a bigger Spinosaur compared to Spinosaurus. It had the sail like Spinosaurus, but the sail was much longer and but smaller. And now we are going to go even more back to the late Jurassic, a new period. This is the late Jurassic. This is before the Cretaceous, when creatures were still evolving to become the greatest creatures to roam the earth. But in these plains, they were still dangerous predators, perhaps more smarter. A juvenile stegosaurus, wounded but still alive, stumbles along. Without its mother, it is weak, especially when it's wounded. But the laws of the jungle, of the dinosaur world, tells this juvenile stegosaurus is in danger. The wounded and the young is always the easy pick. The Allosaurus, a fierce predator, the lion of the Jurassic. It may not be as big as Tyrannosaurus Rex, but it was smarter, faster, more fierce. It was one of the greatest predator of all the Jurassic. And it was the king of its time. But if we go back even further, if we check out something that is unfamiliar, a fact about something, we are going back to the Cretaceous, but not the late, the early, to figure out something new. Now we are in North America, once a lost world. We are near a lake, but wherever there are lakes, there is trouble. Not because of the baryonyx, the Spinosaurus, or the Suchomimus, because of something far greater, Sarcosuchus. A 9-meter crocodile, bigger than any crocodile living today. It was the biggest of all crocodiles, the king of the crocodiles. We are back into the late Cretaceous. A juvenile Carnotaurus stumbles along. This Carnotaurus is 2 months old, but defenseless, but not totally unguarded. She has her mother by her side. But the mother is not always there. The mother usually has to go hunting for food. So the mother will leave the baby. The Carnotaurus is now alone. Just 2 months old, very curious. But the young Carnotaurus has much to learn. The Carnotaurus had very small arms, smaller arms than Tyrannosaurus Rex. A pterosaur stumbles along, looking for something to eat. Pterosaur means flying reptile. The Carnotaurus is interested. The Carnotaurus has never seen something like this before. The pterosaur leaves. But before the Carnotaurus knows it, he feels a whoosh over his head. The pterosaur is now up in the air. Pterosaur has picked its meal. But suddenly, when the pterosaur just is about to get a bite out of the young Carnotaurus, the mother stumbles along. The young is lucky, but this won't be the first time. Now that the pterosaur knows where it is, knows where this place is, the pterosaur will soon come back. Now we are going to travel far, far back to a mystery place. We are back in the Gobi Desert with the velociraptors. This velociraptors usually hunt in packs, but this female has lost her packs to another pack, and she will soon have birth. She needs to find food. Since most of her resources are gone in this area, another pack has taken over this area. She will have to leave. One velociraptor, it's a hard life for one velociraptor, but in a pack it can take down 3 full men. Velociraptors are sneaky little creatures. They mostly hunted on Protoceratops, a plant-eating herbivore that was a cousin to the Triceratops, a very small Triceratops, the size of a sheep, with no horns, just a bump on its nose. But it was very fast and powerful. Now we are going to go back to the early Cretaceous. We are back with the Baryonyx, a female Baryonyx. Baryonyx has a cub, barely able to walk. The cub is just a few days old. The cub has much to learn, but there is always danger near. The Suchomimus is back. The Suchomimus is looking for the cub. Baryonyx, female Baryonyxes, dinosaurs will always never give up a fight when they are protecting their young. They will have to protect the next generation, especially a few days old. But this will be a very, fair fight. They can both swim, but Baryonyx has the ginormous arms and is bigger. The Baryonyx does not want to fight, but she will if she has to. Suchomimus, it knows that a Mother Baryonyx can be very tough when protecting her young. She moves out of the battle. And that was the end. Dinosaurs roamed the earth for a long time. And then something happened. They all disappeared. The Dinosaur War.